Hello and welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic on an absolutely beautiful sort of spring/summer's day here in the UK. It is lovely weather and I'm going to celebrate by having a look at a puzzle by a debut author. This puzzle is called The Wolf and it's by Fiton and it's been recommended to us by Professor Dorlir. Dorlir is a maths professor from Albania. I think I'm right about that. Anyway, that's what's fixed in my head. Dorlir has been the setter of many, many stunning puzzles that we've featured on the channel over the years. Anyway, we had an email from Dorlir saying that one of his friends, Fiton, has created a Sudoku and he thinks it is one... Well, I think he said it was the best debut puzzle he's ever seen and we should definitely consider it on the channel. And that's enough for me. If Dorlir says it's that good, I'm going to have a go at it. It's got a really, really strange rule set to do with super-connectivity. We're going to have to shade a region in the grid that has to be not just orthogonally connected, but orthogonally super-connected. Now, I don't know if that is a concept that exists in mathematics. It may well do. Although I did do maths to a relatively high level. I didn't do it at degree level, except as a module, and therefore concepts that could exist in mathematics, like superconnectivity, are beyond my ken. But I know this channel is watched by a lot of very, very good mathematicians who will no doubt be able to tell me in the comments if I can finish this puzzle at all and this becomes a video, but let's assume it does. The comments will no doubt be full of erudition on the subject of superconnectivity. But I'm looking forward to having a go at this. I'm afraid I have no idea how hard it is. I did find it on Logic Masters Germany, but I don't think it had a rating yet. So Dorlir, I'm going off your recommendation and I'm looking forward to trying the puzzle, and I will read you the rules in a moment or two's time. Now, I have a few things to talk about before that, 3 things, starting off with the fact that tomorrow at 10 AM UK time, we are releasing a bonus video in which Mark and I try and solve a puzzle set for us as a challenge by none other than Matt Parker. I've got a teaser thumbnail there. Matt Parker is, sort of one of our YouTube heroes, and it was absolutely fantastic to finally virtually meet him. This puzzle, you can see it's the MIT challenge. It's from the MIT Mystery Hunt. I think it was this year, but there was a sort of Sudoku-related puzzle in that. Well, I mean, I don't think I'm giving anything away by saying it was incredibly difficult. Matt thought it needed a computer to solve it. Mark and I attempted to prove that wrong. You can see what happens at 10 AM UK time tomorrow. I hope you'll enjoy the video. As I say, it was a great thrill for us to make it. Now, next topic is Patreon. Now, this month's Patreon reward, which was running from the 1st of April, coincidentally therefore themed on April Fools, was involved the chance to win this. Oh, it's gone over there. I don't know why it's gone over there. This cushion cover, made by Emily Williams, one of the channel's most staunch and wonderful supporters. And this is handmade. And I can tell you this now. This is the pattern of the solution to the final puzzle in that Sudoku hunt. This colouring pattern. It's an absolute labour of love. It really is beautiful. And we have selected the winner. So let me get my list. So drum roll. The winner, the person who is going to receive the cushion cover, is Helen Whitfield. Helen, I have no idea where you're based, but we will email you after this video goes out and inquire as to where a cushion cover should be sent. We hope you enjoy it, obviously, and massive, massive thanks to Emily for creating it for us. Yeah, so that's that news. Now, birthday-wise, I have got 3 birthdays to do today. We'll start off with Aidan. Aidan, you've turned 19 today, and I know this because your girlfriend Amelia wrote to us telling us that you both watched, so thank you both for doing that, and asking if I could wish you, Aidan, a happy birthday, which of course I can, and I hope your birthday is filled with enormous amounts of chocolate cake with a lot of icing on it. Next, Alana. Alana, you've turned 21 today. And I think you watched before bed, and very kindly, you have now got your partner hooked on the channel as well. That's what we love, people who spread the word about these wonderful, wonderful puzzles. So Alana, thank you for doing that, and I hope you have an absolutely splendid birthday with cake. Goes without saying, of course. Now, the last birthday is actually for tomorrow, but we were asked if we could read it out today, and this is a birthday for Luciano. Luciano, you're turning 26 tomorrow, and I know this because your partner Thomas wrote to us and said that you might appreciate a shout out. I hope that is true. Luciano, many happy returns for tomorrow. I hope you get a large chocolate cake. And let me look at my list. I think that is all the news. So let's have a look at the wolf. It's like a miracle Sudoku, really, isn't it? There's not much going on in the grid. 3 given digits and 2 dots. Anyway, let's read the rules together and we'll see how this works. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply, which means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. A region of shaded cells is called super-connected if, in addition to being orthogonally connected, so let's just deal with what orthogonally connected means, that is an orthogonally connected shape, because each cell in this green region can trace through to the other green cells by going along or moving through cells that share an edge with one another. If we added that cell to the green area, it is no longer orthogonally connected because this cell only touches the other greens at a point, this diagonal vertex here. That's not sufficient for connectivity, for orthogonal connectivity, let alone super-connectivity. Right, so let's go back. A region of shaded cells is called super-connected if, in addition to being orthogonally connected, so this is orthogonally connected, it has the property that for any 2 shaded cells that are in the same row or in the same column, all the cells between them are also shaded. So this is definitely not super-connected. No, it's not, because these 2 cells are in the same row, but the cells between them are not shaded. So let's shade them. Now, yeah. Is this now super connected? This is where I'll get this wrong and I'll feel like an absolute muppet. I think it is. I think it is. Every row, in every row, everything in a row is connected in every column. I think that is. I think I'm going to claim that's super connected. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Right, and now our task is shade some cells so that the resulting shaded region is super connected. Okay, the number of shaded cells in each box of the grid must be at least 1 and must be equal to the largest digit that is shaded in that box. Oh, we're about to get a fly past by Maverick, so sorry about the aeroplane noise. Let me just read that bit again. The number of shaded cells in each box of the grid must be at least 1, so the super-connected region we're creating goes into every 3 by 3 box and must be equal to the largest digit that is shaded in that box. Different boxes must have a different number of shaded cells. Right, so I think what we're saying is that we've got to have one region that's got 9 in it, one region that's got 8 in it, one region that's got 7 in it, etc., etc., all round the grid, but subject to the condition that everything is super connected. In the middle box, any 2 digits that are consecutive must also be orthogonally adjacent. Oh, so that's got nothing to do with so that's nothing to do with shading. All we're being told about this box is that if that was a 1 in this box, 2 must be in one of those cells, I think. So if that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would be, I think, a way of filling the middle box. Actually, I think I realised something about that, which is going to allow me to say one of my favourite words, but I'll do that when we get to solving. Digits connected by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio, so that means one of the digits is double the other. Right, so actually let's do this one because it's going to be less constrained. If that's a 2, this square here is either 4, because 4 is double 2, or it's 1, because 2 is double 1. That is how black dots work. One of the digits has to be double the other. They are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, what I was going to start with actually was the word. I'm going to start the solve with the word quincunx. You didn't think that was going to be the next word that comes out of my mouth. Quincunx is. A quincunx is this pattern. It's sort of a 5 on a dice, if you like. And I think it's relevant to the middle box here. Because what we're told in the middle box is that if 2 digits are consecutive, they are orthogonally adjacent. So we can think about this box in terms of parity. Because what that means is, I mean, obviously in a Sudoku there are 5 odd digits and 4 even digits. So the even digits in this box have to be surrounded by 2 odd digits, don't they? Because 2 is consecutive with 1 and 3, 4 is consecutive with 3 and 5, etc. Whereas the odd digits, they can sit at the end of the sequence. So the 1 and the 9 can only sit... well, the 1 and the 9, the 1 has to sit next to the 2, and the 9 has to sit next to the 8. But the point is that as we traverse this box, we're going to move between parities, aren't we? So what I wonder is, can you see why there would be a problem with making this digit odd? If this digit is odd, clearly, wherever the path in this box goes, it's going to go to an even cell, isn't it? And that means that the even cells in this box are always going to be on the bishop's colour, if you like, that corresponds to the quincunx. But that would imply there are 5 even digits in the box, which is clearly impossible. So in fact, what we're going to have to do in the middle box is put the odd digits into the quincunx, and the even digits into the non-quincunx cells. So that is how the middle box will work, which means we can do this. I mean, this is an absurd over specification of pencil marking, but I'm going to do it on this one occasion because I don't want to use odd and even shading, because I've got to have a different shaded area that's to do with superconnectivity. So I'm simply going to do that and leave it alone. And then you can see that, let's say the path started there with a 1 and went upwards, it could go something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'll finish on an odd digit, as it always must do, and the path will work. Imagine we started here with a 1. Well, and say we went there. One thing you can see as a result of that is there are now 2 ends to this snake that we're building, and that's impossible. But let's say we went there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops, 2 ends again. So it's never going to work, and that's what we'd expect because we've understood how parity works. Right, now let's go back to the superconnectivity stuff we were having to think about. So the most interesting... I was going to say the most interesting rule is that we have to have a box that is completely filled with shading. and then a box that is almost completely filled with shading. And one box has only one digit in it. So wherever the box, wherever the box is that has one digit in it, that digit can never be away from the... It's never going to be able to be in these sorts of positions, is it? Because then it won't be able to connect to anything. So imagine this was the box that had one digit in it. Well, actually, that's a terrible choice. Well, it could be there, actually. Let's make... But because we have to put in the shape. Yeah, if this was the box that had 1 in it, you write a 1 into the shape. So like that. Yeah. Oh, for goodness sake. Right. Okay. Sorry. Something I should have said instantly, which is, I'm absolutely certain, obvious to all of you, and it wasn't obvious to me until I've just realised it, is that because it's weird wording of the rule, that's actually, because all of the shapes have the highest digit in a shape is equal to the size of the shape. It's expressed something like that, isn't it? Let me just find the bit. Yeah, the number of shaded cells in each box of the grid must be equal to the largest digit that is shaded in that box. So imagine we shade 6 digits in this box and we unshade 3 digits. Well, those have to be the digits 7, 8 and 9, don't they? Because if we were to put 7, 8 or 9 into the green portion, the 7, 8 or 9 would be the biggest digit. So in fact what we're saying is that the shaded area, so this 6 cell region would contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the region with 4 cells in it, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. In the region with 7 cells in it, the shaded bit's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 8 and 9 are going to be unshaded. So in almost all of this grid, 9 is unshaded. 9 is only shaded in the box with 9 shaded cells in it. Let me just think about this for a second. Well, I'm not really... I've got feelings about how to do this, but feelings are not the same as logic. My feeling is that I want to... Hang on. If I shade... So let's just think about this. If I shade that cell, what is the implications of that? I'm now saying that if I want to shade anything in this box... Oh, no, it's a bit weird actually, isn't it? Oh, well, a difference point. If I shade that cell, if I shade any of those 3, I have to shade those 3 as well. Here's an interesting point. If I shade that one and then don't shade that one, that's not going to work, is it? Because doesn't that mean that all of these are now yellow? Well, I think it does. And now I'm wondering about how I shade anything in this box. I could shade things in this box. I've got to have super connectivity overall. So let me just think about this. But that's not going to work. That's horrible. Because now I can't have anything shaded in any of these positions because I can't connect along the row. Right. So if I shade in any column, I've got to be very careful. How would I not shade that cell? If that cell is not shaded in the finish grid, so let's make it yellow. How do I shade anything in this box? That's right, isn't it? If I don't shade this cell, I can't shade this, or this, or this, or this. It's sort of symmetrical argument. But I mean, look, if I shade that, I'm in the world of hurt I was just in now. I now can't shade any of these. And if I can't shade any of these, I have to shade something in box 4. But that's going to prevent me from putting anything in these boxes. It's clearly wrong. You can't do that. So, and I obviously can't shade anything here. So if I don't shade this, these are also all unshaded. And now I can't shade anything here because it won't be connected to the rest of the grid. So that's wrong. So this cell, right, this is important because that is shaded, is what that's telling us. But that logic that proves this is shaded is the same as the logic for all of those. This is Fistomathel. This is Fistomathel. Because now, because we've just proved that all 4 of those are shaded, because by symmetry they must be. Now, by superconnectivity, those 3 are shaded, those 3 are shaded, those 3 are shaded, those 3 are shaded. Now by superconnectivity, the middle box is all shaded, because it must be. Oh, hang on. I don't know if I like my green on the... Hang on, that's better. I can see the middle more. This is all shaded. So that's the 9. Right. So this is the 9. This is the region that is completely shaded. So this is the region that is shaded, has got 8 shadeds in it, because it's got an 8 in it. And one of that one, and that one, well, no, 2 of those 3 are 1 and 2, are the shaded 1 and the shaded 2. And we know that because every other box has got at least 3 in it. Now, hang on. What does this mean for 9s, though? Because the Fistomathel ring... I can't put 9 in the grid in a shaded cell, other than in this box. So there are no 9s in those cells, which means there are no 9s in these cells by Fiton. No. So we're going to get a sort of Catherine wheel of 9s, aren't we? I might be able to prove that without Fiton, actually. Yes, I can. I don't need Fiton. Right. Where is 9 in row 3? And the answer is, I have not got a clue, but it's indubitably in one of those cells, isn't it? Because it can't be in purple. Because if I put 9 here, that says, because that 9 will be the biggest digit in purple in this box, I meant to put 9 purple cells in, and then I'd have 2 9s in the grid. That cannot be true. So 9 is in yellow in this row. Now, where's 9 in that row? Answer, in yellow. Now, next question. Is it possible for the 9s to be on the same side of the grid? So imagine these were both 9s, or the 9 was in one of this domino. Is it possible in this row then that the 9 is also on this side of the grid? No, because if you've got 9s here and 9s here, where are you putting the 9 in column 3? And the answer is not in those squares, not in those squares, in one of these 3 squares, which is in purple again. That's wrong. There are no 9s in purple. So if this contains a 9, that contains a 9. And if this contains a 9, that contains a 9. So what we can actually do is just fiddle with the colours slightly there. And we can do exactly the same look in these cells now. This is fascinating. This is fascinating. Right, so imagine there is a 9 in one of those two. Then because in this column there can't be a 9 here, there would be a 9 there. So they take on the mantle of yellow. So the yellows would be in these positions. And similarly, those are going to be orange. So the 9s in the puzzle occupy... They either all live in orange or they all live in yellow. Actually, they never live in that cell, because that's a black dot cell. You can't put 9 on a black dot, because you need a digit next to the 9, which would either be double 9 or half 9. Half 9 is 4.5. That's not Sudoku. And 18 is not Sudoku either. Although that looks like it's trying to be 18, but not in the right way. Actually, 8 is in one of those cells. Oh, hang on. Hang on, this might not be about 9s, this might be about 8s. Oh, sorry. Hang on a minute. Because everything I've been saying about 9s is true, I think, but isn't... there's only 2 8s in purple. Now there's a purple 8 there, and there's a purple 8 there. Because imagine this was an 8. That's saying put 8 purples in this box. But I know this is the box that's got 8 purples in it. Hang on. Let's come back to this. Sorry, and I know I'm jumping around, but I'm just trying to figure out how this puzzle works. In box 7, the digit that is not purple is 9, because we know within the panoply of purple digits in box 7, we're going to have the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, in order that 8 is the biggest digit. So, because I know the 9 is in a yellow or an orange cell, those are all purple. And surely that means something for superconnectivity, doesn't it? So the 9 is in one of those 3. Oh no, I don't want to give up my colouring for 9s, but I'm finding now I'm getting confused. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm totally making a ricket of this. I'm going to do that and uncolour all these. And I would just remember it's Catherine wheeled, okay? Because I was looking at that, trying to understand how the superconnectivity worked, and it was just messing me up. Right. Yeah, okay. So here is a question. Is it possible for this square to be unshaded? I am going to say no, for the following reason. Actually, I've now thought of two reasons that this can't be unshaded. This is a very strange puzzle. Right, here are my two reasons. If this was unshaded, then it's a 9, obviously. But then this is shaded in the box because there are 8 shadeds. And now I haven't got a superconnectivity in those 3 squares because that purple is in the same row as that purple, and yet there is an unshaded between them. Now that wasn't how I originally saw that. The way I originally saw that this couldn't be unshaded was because I was thinking about 1 in this box. Now 1 is clearly not in those squares, is it? So there is a 1 in one of those, and we know that in every box of this puzzle, the 1 will always be shaded. So I've talked about 9s mostly being unshaded, but 1 in every box must be shaded, even in the box that just has 1 shaded cell in it. So there is definitely a shaded in there somewhere. Therefore there is a shaded in there somewhere. Therefore if this was unshaded, there would be a superconnectivity problem in that column. So, but actually, I think it's simpler to just see it as if that's unshaded, that would be shaded, and that breaks superconnectivity there. So that is not 9. So, okay, so isn't that always shaded then? It's not, yeah, that's got to be right. If that's unshaded, given that I know something in this box in these cells is shaded, I'm going to have a problem. So that's always shaded. This is a really, this is Fiton's first puzzle. It's absolutely, well, it's very original and it's super interesting as well as being super connected. Oh, hang on. No. 25. Okay, here is a different thought altogether. How many shadeds are there in this puzzle? And the answer to that is sort of a secret that I share with only my very favourite people. So, the number of shadeds altogether is 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, isn't it? Which is the same, of course, as the sum of any row or column in Sudoku, because every box, they all contain the digits 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we know, this is something I share with only my very favourite people, but of course, that is the secret of Sudoku, it's 45. So, in this puzzle, there's going to be 45 shadeds. Now, I've already shaded a great deal. That is a 5 by 5 square. That's 25 shadeds. So there's only 20 more shadeds to be found. Is that 7 shadeds? So I've only got 13 more shadeds to find in the whole of the rest of the grid. I'm not really sure how to use that, but it doesn't feel like an insurmountable problem now, does it? I've basically got most of the shading done. Don't really know how to think about this now. Is it to do with 9s? Is it to do with 1s? I mean, that could be 1, couldn't it? That could just be a 1-sized region. In fact, there's only two possibilities for the one-sized region. It's either there or there. Because that can't be a one-size region. Because it can't just contain the digit 1, which is what the one-size region would do because of Sudoku. But that could be a 1, I think. Or is it 8s? Let's go back to think about 8s. Now, 8 is in one of those 3 squares. Do I care about that? Is there some reason? I'm sorry if this is obvious. If 8 is in one of those, all 3 of those can't be shaded. So, yes, I do care about that then. Right. How could this cell be shaded? If that cell's shaded, by superconnectivity all 3 of those are shaded to connect to these, but that would mean there was a shaded 8 in this box, and there can't be. There are no more shaded 8s. We haven't found the one in box 5, but there is one. So that is unshaded. So that means, this is really brilliant. So that means that all of these are unshaded. Because if anything is shaded here, it's got to connect to that. This is weird. So now that's got to be in the column. This has to be unshaded. Otherwise it wouldn't connect in the column correctly. Now these are all unshaded, or they can't connect down there, or indeed to anything. Orthogonal connection would have dealt with that. So this digit is no bigger than 3, because that's all I could shade in this row. That's 1, 2, or 3. Do I think that's the one, or do I think that's the one? I don't know. So, okay, in this box, there has to be, that digit has to be, that digit, which is a tiny old digit, has to be shaded in this box, because we know that that digit is not in those squares. So there's going to be a 4th shaded cell in this box, and that means, because this digit is 1, 2, or 3, it's shaded. So there's a shaded something down here. It can't be there. It can't, well, that could be shaded, but if that's shaded, obviously this is shaded. So that because there must be something shaded in this panoply, this digit, I mean, it could be here as well, obviously, but if it's there, there's still something shaded here. So that's always shaded, is what I'm going to claim. And therefore, it's not 8. So 8 is shifted over slightly. This is a wonderful puzzle. I've not done anything quite like this on the channel ever, I don't think. It feels like I'm sort of discovering how something mathematical works, even though it's not really maths. So it's very likely now that the 9 is in this part of the sort of cartwheel or the Catherine wheel. Because one of those is definitely, well, both of those are definitely unshaded. Whereas it's possible, if that's a 3, those would both be, all 3 of those would be shaded. 8, okay, 8 in that box. 8, ooh. Right, here is something Sudoku-y. 8 in box 3 is in one of these dominoes, because 8 can't be in purple again. 8 in this box, I don't know where it goes, but it's clearly in one of those 6 cells, because it can't be in purple. So 8 in this box is in one of those 2 squares. Now, So that means that cell cannot be purple. Because if this cell is purple, that cell is purple by superconnectivity, and 8 ends up shaded in box 1. And that's impossible. So that cell is unshaded, which means both of those are unshaded. I'm slowly understanding this. Now, what does that mean? Actually, I don't know. I'm not sure. Does it matter that I know one of those is an 8? So, not really, I don't think. That, okay, Oh, I see. Right, here's something. Right, which boxes in this puzzle contain the 1, the 2, and the 3 segments? I know which ones they are now. They are this box, and this box. How do I know that? It's because of this digit. That digit, which is a 1, 2, or a 3, is not in those squares. So it's in a shaded cell that's one of those cells, which means this box has at least 4 purples in it. This box has exactly the same property. There is a 1 that must be shaded up here. So it has at least 4 shadeds in it. We know this one has at least 4 shadeds. We know this one has at least 4 shadeds. This has 8 shadeds. So the 1, 2, and 3 shadeds are this one, and this one. So this digit is 2 or 3. Because it can't be 1. And it can't be greater than 3. We've just found that out. Now, what does that mean? In fact, okay, something that means, which is weird, is that this box now has at least 5 shadeds in it, and so does this one. Because this digit and this digit have to be shaded in this box, as well as those 3 shadeds. And these 2 digits have to be shaded in this box, as well as those 3 digits. So this has at least 5 shadeds, this has at least 5 shadeds. So the 4 shaded, the box that has 4 shadeds in it is either this box or this box. Oh, goodness me. Now, how do we do this? I'm not sure. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. I don't really know how to think about this properly yet. If 8 was on that Kropki dot, it would have a 4 with it. The 4 would have to be shaded. This being 2 or 3. Very little of this box is shaded, you know. How? Yeah, okay. What? I think we can do a lot of unshading in this box, because where is this going? Now, what I'm going to claim here is that all of those are unshaded. Now you may say, that's not right, Simon, because that could be shaded if that's a 3. And I'm going to say, yes, except it can't. Because if this was a 3, and we do make a triomino, which would be either like that or like that to connect this thing up, that won't work, because we know that there's something shaded here and there's something shaded here, and I can't make both of those shaded. So there is sort of one green in one of those that would break the connectivity rule. So imagine those two are shaded and that's green, that breaks. And if that's purple, then that's green, but there's something purple there, so that breaks as well. So all of those are green. And I don't know what this digit is still, but what I just said is true. Ah, okay. One of these is an 8. Well, in fact, one of those is an 8. So if this was shaded, that would be shaded, and an 8 would be shaded in this box. So that is unshaded. That would be it'd be really nice if that did something, wouldn't it? Oh dear. I have a feeling if you're good with this rule, you can just do this puzzle in about 5 minutes. Unfortunately, if you're learning this rule, it's harder than that. Like I'm looking at this block of purple and I'm like trying to add bits onto it in various positions. I'm not sure quite how to think about it. So I definitely know that there is some green in here because of this 8 that exists. Yeah, so what you can't do is you can't have that shaded and that shaded, because then to connect those two up, they would go through an 8. All of those would be shaded. So only a maximum of one of those is shaded. Yeah, I think this is going to be a 1. Because if that's a 1, that would be unshaded. I'm not sure. Oh, of course. Where's 1 in box 3? That's a really obvious point. 1 has to be shaded in every box. 1's there. Oh. Well, now that's not a 1. So this is a 1. Yeah. So actually, I'm totally wrong. This is the only box that can only have a 1 in it, because these two boxes have bigger digits in it. So all of these are unshaded. Aha. Aha. Does that matter? Well, because this is at least a 2, that's shaded now. There's got to be a 1 in one of those cells, hasn't there? I mean, that is the corollary of what we've been learning. This is an 8. Oh, this is good. Right. That's an 8. So there's an 8 in one of these, but surely the point now is I know where the Catherine wheeled 9s go. Because there's a 9 in one of those, there can't be a 9 in one of those. So there's a 9 in one of these, that can't be a 9. That is a 9, which means that A is green, this is shaded, these are not 9, and there's a 9 down here. So there's a 9 in one of those by Sudoku. Oh, I'm sure this is doing something. And now I've done it. I've done it. Oh, I've just had a really good thought. Right, at last, I hear you all chorus. Yeah, okay. So which is, because this has got 2 low digits in it, this box, those 2 low digits have to be shaded somewhere down here in those cells. So this box can't only have 4 shadeds in it. It's got those 3 plus these 2 digits wherever they live in shaded cells in this box. So this is the only box that has the potential now to only have 4 shadeds in it. So it must have 4 shadeds, and that's a 1, and that must be a 2, 3, 4 triple. And oh, so there's a 1 down here now. 2, 3, 4. What's that digit? We've run out of black dot digits here. Well, we've got 1 left. The only black dot digits in Sudoku are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8. Because 5, 7 and 9 can never go on a black dot, because if you double them you don't get Sudoku numbers, and if you halve them you don't get integers. So this is 6. This is 3. There's a 3 up in one of those squares. These are 5, 7, 9, obviously. This one can't be 9. Now, what does that mean? I hear you chorus. And the answer is boom, boom, boom. That, we just said, I worked out earlier, those 2 can't both be purple, because all of those would be purple, and an 8 would be purplified in box 6. So that is green, which means that this is 2. So this is 3. So this is purple. This is a 1, 2 pair. So now this is at least a 6 box now, because it's got 1, 2, 3. That's probably important for some reason I can't deduce. 1 is in the top row here. So hang on, which box is 5? Oh, yeah, which box is 5? That is the question. That is the question. It's not to be or not to be. That is not the question. The question is which is 5? Because this box has those 3 plus 1, 2, 3 at least. So it's at least a 6. This box has 1, 2, 3 plus those digits. So it's at least a 6. So the only box that can have 5 shadeds is this one. And the 1 is in the top row. So the 2, which has to be shaded, is in one of those squares, and there is a 1, 2 in one of these 3 positions. Oh, that's it, that's it. Right, imagine the 1 or the 2 was here or here. It would make this square green and one of these purple, and that's going to break superconnectivity. So those 2 are both purple. This is a 2, this is a 1, these are all green. Let's get rid of the pencil marks, or at least tidy them slightly. That's the first. Is this? Oh no, it's not the first chance that we've had to look in the middle box. Now, okay, so these are 3, 4, 5 by dint of logic, Sudoku logic, and now what do we do? I'm not sure. So hang on. So we've got 6 and 7 to find, haven't we? So one of these boxes, and in both cases, yeah, okay, in both cases 8 is really important, because in this box those can't be the 3 purples. We must get to one of these squares because we can't purplify the 8, and therefore we must always purplify this square or superconnectivity will be broken. And now we must purplify this square or superconnectivity is broken. If I was good at this, I could really be good at this. And the same's going to be true here, isn't it? We can't purplify that without purplifying this by superconnectivity. And because we know one of these is purplified, because 1, 2, and 3 all have to be shaded and can't be there, we've got to be down here, which means that is purple. I mean, we might be able to do more than that. Yeah, you can't purplify that, because then in the column it's unpurplifiable. I mean, that's definitely a word. You don't need to check in the dictionary, it's definitely a word. Right, so what does this mean? Yeah, if you purplified, oh, this is definitely green, but if you purplify that, you have to purplify both of those and that. That's clearly wrong. We're really close now to finishing this, I think. That might be over optimistic, but I don't think we're far off. How do we do this then? Yeah, if this was purple, that would be purple. That doesn't work, so that's green. So we've done this row now. We've got 5 purples, but we could have as many as 7 purples. Right, where's 1 in this box? And the answer is there. Because this is really clever if this is part of the solution path, actually. Because look, 1 is not there in those squares by Sudoku. We know 1 is purple. Now, if 1 was here on the black dot, this would be a 1-2 pair, and that cell would be broken. So that's got to be purple. It's got to be the purple 1. That does these 2 digits, but also by superconnectivity, this is now purple. This is now the 8. And now by Sudoku, there's a 2 on this dot, and it's not a 1-2 pair. So it is a 2-4 pair, and now that's a 3. This is superb. This is superb. There's a 2-4 pair in this row. So that's not 2 or 4. These squares are 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now that's the 7. So this is the 6 thingy. So that can't be purple, because then this would be purple, and it would be a 7. So that's got to be green. This has got to be purple. That's got to be the 8. This is not an 8. Oopsie. This is not an 8. Have I got to the bit now? I don't know where the 8 is. Where's the 1 on the quincunx? Not there, not there, not there. It's there. That's the only place. So the 2 must be next to it. Which apparently I already knew from Sudoku, but I didn't know it. And then 3 must be next to... oh no, that's still... Okay, hang on. This must be 9, mustn't it? Let's just do our Sudoku. Let's do Sudoku. I mean, I know it's against my better nature to resort to doing Sudoku in Sudoku puzzles, but yeah, this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. So this has got to be the 1 by Sudoku. This is the 3. This is the 2. That's the 2 now on the quincunx. So the 3 is in one of those 2 cells. I mean, it must be nearly resolved. If that's the 3, that's the 9. If that's the 3, we're not going to know. These squares, though, are 4, 5, 6, aren't they? And this is a 7. So that's a 5. There's a 7, 9 pair now at the top of column 3. These squares are 1, 2, and 4. And we know where the 1 goes. It goes in the corner. These squares are 7 and 9. So we get the 9 over here. 2 in the bottom row has to be there. Sorry, I should have seen that earlier and just wasn't thinking about it. Right, these are 5 and 7 by Sudoku. These are 4 and 6 by Sudoku, and that is resolved. Okay. That's a 9 by Sudoku. This is no longer a 2. What do we need in that row? We need 6, 7 and 8. So that's 6 or 7. That's 6 or 8. That's 6, 7 or 8. Actually, it's not 7. There's a 7, 9. Oh, I see. So that's 7. That's 7. That's 5. This column needs 3 and 5. So those squares are 4 and 6. Yeah, we might need this middle box to do some magic, actually. Is there something I'm meant to know about how this all finishes? Nine is not... Oh, I see. It might be where the 9 goes on the quincunx. Not sure, actually. Right, let's try something else. Where else could we look? Where's 8 in this box? I don't quite know that, but it's in one of those 2 squares. So that gets me my 8 here, my 6 here, my 6 here as a result. So this column needs 5 and 4. Oh, that places 2 in the corner. That's not what we wanted. We wanted the 3 in the corner. 3, 5. So this is 5. This is... Oh, I was going to say it's 1. It can't possibly be 1. That's 4. So this is 4. This is 6. I feel like this is a 4. No, that's wrong, isn't it? Well, no, I don't think it's wrong. Hang on, what's going on now? Just be careful, Simon. This is 7, 8, 9. I'm not sure if I'm meant to know the order there. And this is 6, 7, 9. It definitely contains 6. And those squares, what do we need over here? We need 5, 7 and 8. Okay, let's put that in. And that's not 8. So, how does this all work? 4 in this row seems to be placed, doesn't it? And in fact, there's a 5, 7 pair, which makes this a 3. And now that's got to be a 4 on the quincunx. Oh, that's beautiful. Ah, this is absolutely ridiculous. So now we can get rid of 3 from here. 5 is in one of those squares. This square's a 4. This square's a 3. Oh no, what I was about to say was not true, so I better be a bit careful. Okay, 5 is definitely in one of those cells, isn't it? Because it's got to connect to the 4 in the quincunx, so that square loses its 5ification. So 5 is in one of those. That's being 3 makes this a 5. So that's a 4 and that's a 3. So this is not a 4. I think it is just Sudoku now. Which is easier said than done for me. I focus on anything but. Okay. So now this... Oh, I see. That's not 5 anymore. Good grief. So the 4 must go here. And now, that's the end of the snake, isn't it? So that's the 9. So that's gone 9, 8, 7, 6. And that's going to disambiguate all of these nonsenses. Good grief. What a puzzle this is. This is, I mean, it is seriously brilliant. So that's 6 now. That's 9, 9, 7. This is 8 and that's 7 and it's finished. So that is the shape. The wolf. Is that a wolf? I might have got it wrong. Hang on a moment. I'm unsure. Is a wolf's ears there? Is that... Where's... Maybe. It might be a wolf. Let's see if it's right first. Yes, it is right. It's had very, very few solves. I don't... Well, hopefully it'll get thousands of solves now. It deserves millions. I mean, that is a really, really fascinating puzzle. I do not know, as I say, whether superconnectivity is a thing. But I sort of feel and wish it was. Because that Fiton is one heck of a debut. My goodness me. I may well, by the way, have not figured out the right way to do that. You know, we find our own ways through these puzzles. And there could well have been a better way. But that was my way. And I did have fun. That was really, really special. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it and how you solved it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.